Hey, this is Nicholas with the Backyard TARDIS here with some more adventures in locksmithing. I've done a couple of videos now about some recent apartment jobs that I've done, but one of the first ones I ever did that made me realize that doing apartment takeovers is not a fun job. I had a gentleman. He submitted all this legal documents. He represented some bank. They had taken full repoed these apartments. And this whole process, there were people that were living in these apartments that had been basically, the landlords just walked away. And so they had been there over a year without rent. And the new people, they weren't interested in continuing any kind of rent. They wanted them out. They wanted to redo the buildings up, refurbish it all, that. And so as far as this guy thought he had authority to just kick him out, but he kind of lied to me. He told me that they had been having squatters breaking in and stuff like that, but there was nobody actually living in the apartments. So I'm going about and I'm seeing there's cars being worked on. I see some guys sitting out front of an apartment having beer, and I'm there and I'm kind of I'm getting bad vibes, so I'm trying to call about this. And I going through, and a guy comes out of a unit. He come down and asks me, can I get my stuff out? How soon are you doing mine? I'm like, oh yeah, I'll put yours to last. What do you got to get out of there? Or, he's, oh, I got to get my bed out. And I'm like, your bed? I'm kind of already, and then I open up the one next to his, and this one, I see a fully, completely furnished apartment. The TV's on. Everything's going. And I'm like, And there's an animal in there. And I'm like, he's got a dog. He's got this. This is not right. I was still pretty fresh as a locksmith, so I didn't know all the ins and outs, but I knew this is not right. This person lives here. And so I go ahead and shut the door and lock it. And I call the guy back and I'm like, I can't do this. Oh, yes, you have to do that. I'm like, there's no way. We need a sheriff here. And so I go on, and this guy gets home, right? And he sees the other guy loading up on his bike, and he asks, hey, did he go near my apartment? And I saw him go up there and do it. And so he came out and blew up at me. I had to call a standby. This guy who was supposed to be showing up all day, who had sent me all the paperwork, finally he shows up when I tell him, hey, the police are here. You better get here. And so he finally shows up. I call my owner of the company, and so I said, I'm over my head. I may have stepped in something, done something wrong. You need to be here. So he comes down. We're talking with the officers, and this guy's a trucker. He's getting off his shift. He's coming home, and he's like, you gave me no notice. You did this. You did that. I've been living here for X amount. And of course, the thing, oh, you've been living here free. That doesn't negate his rights of occupancy. And see, I wasn't as well aware of this at the time, but I knew it felt fishy because I was fairly new as a locksmith. And so then I realized the other guy, I'd already rekeyed his room, and I said, hey, I'm not going to lock your door. You go, I don't have the right to kick you out either. And there were some other people in another unit, and he's like, oh, no, those weren't even tenants. Those are squatters. I'm like, okay, but the officers helped us realize that the squatters have squatting rights, and you can't just kick them out. So it was this huge headache. It then took months to go through the process of coming out and doing all that. And of course, this guy didn't want to pay additional trips. And it's like, hey, you didn't go through the right thing so that we could do this all right in one go. This is what it's going to take. But that whole thing was a nightmare. It significantly scared me because I thought maybe I had done something wrong. And I was on the verge of doing something wrong, and thankfully, you know, of course the sheriffs understood, like, hey, you know, but we just set it out, made it right, and went from there. But anyways, that's just another adventure in locksmithing. Anytime somebody takes over an apartment building, it just means a headache for the locksmith that catches that job. I'll catch you all in the next video.